Good evening, race fans, and welcome to the show. Tonight, we have a good one here tonight. It is now race, I want to say 22, if you can believe it, of the season. Things are starting to get to the end, because after tonight, there is then 3 races left on the schedule. Here tonight, we kick things off with qualifying in a little different order than before. Looks like we have some group qualifying for 5 minutes out here tonight, so drivers are going to get multiple attempts to put down the fast lap, so this should be interesting here. Like I said, not normally the case, but here tonight, keeping it rocking and rolling with this. It looks like the first car to start his lap will be our current points leader and last week's winner, the 80 machine of Logan Koger. Koger here through 1 and 2 down there on the bottom side, and that's where you want to be for a fast lap here at Homestead. But as the run goes on, this track starts to heat on up. We'll see guys go from the middle lane all the way right against the fence, so it's going to be very exciting to see where drivers feel the most comfortable, because I tell you what, ripping that top side is treacherous. There's a few bumps, especially a big bump in turn number 3 and 4, right in the middle of that. And if you hit that wrong, it puts you straight in the fence. So these drivers having a lot to worry about as first couple laps here coming on the board. It looks like it is Johnny Barker so far with the best time, as we take a look at a driver kind of running the top side at the moment, the 62 machine of Frank Zingen. We'll see where Zingen can go here as he heads down the backstretch for his first time lap here. And just like that right there, you see the 62 machine get into the wall in the high side of 3 and 4, and that is that bump right there that these drivers will have to try and dance around if they do run that top side. And with that wall hit, does not allow that lap time from the 62 machine, so we'll have to try for another lap, as so far 7 cars have taken a lap here. As we keep our eye here on the 62 machine right on the fence, once again going to get a piece of the fence, so another lap here will come to an end for that 62 machine, so we'll have to try it out again. And here we go, Chad Coleman once again make an appearance here tonight, as Coleman here is tied in the series for the most wins. It is, of course, him and Cody Gibson and Mike Kelly leading the way with 4 wins apiece, so Chad Coleman could enter into a league of his own here tonight if he were to get to victory lane. But lap number 1 puts him P number 9 for the 38 machine. He will look for some more speed here on lap number 2. Other drivers here looking pretty sporty. Dustin Coggin able to jump up to 3rd, Joe Hudson in 4th. And how about this, Rick Kennedy rounding out the top 5. So that 10 machine looks pretty sporty here tonight at Homestead as well. Ron Holyfield right behind the 38 machine. He will look for a time, as Coleman will go to the top of the board with that lap time. A 33.88 will be the time to beat from the 38 machine. Holyfield there from his first lap out on track will jump to P number 9. As a driver here making his first start in the series. Ryan Vang here in the 28 machine. We'll see what he can do, as it looks like not liking that lap time. Looks like will abort it before completing a lap. Isaac Salas here, a winner this season so far, looking to get back to victory lane. Looks like he will be 7th because time running out on the clock. We'll see if Logan Koger can get to the stripe in time before this session ends. It will be right there. He will, and he will dethrone Chad Coleman right at the end. So it will be the 80 machine of Logan Koger. Could be in a great spot here and could be walking away with that pole award here, as we wait for everyone else to kind of finish up their lap. I think the only other car really on a lap is this 32 machine of Bryson Anderson. We'll see if Anderson has enough time to make a time, as there's still, 4 other drivers deciding not to take a lap time here in qualifying. So Anderson here off of turn number 4 towards the stripe. Last time by at 35.38. Not better than that 34.36. So he will keep that lap time, as he will bring that car to a slow. And that will do it here in qualifying. So it'll be Logan Koger here tonight, going to be walking away with that Riptide Pole Award. So congrats to Logan, looking to keep the momentum rocking and rolling from his win last week at Gateway. And that 80 machine will be leading the field to the green flag. Speaking about leading the field, what do we say we head down trackside and go through tonight's starting lineup for the old Vice City 201 here at Homestead Miami Speedway. Alrighty, folks, here is tonight's starting lineup for the Vice City 201 here on a Friday night with the 802 Busch Series. Logan Koger, our points leader, will start on the point and lead the field to the green flag. Just outside, the driver looking to set records here tonight, looking for that elusive 5th win on the season. The 38 of Chad Coleman will start on the outside of the front row. Then we head to row number 2. Some drivers looking for that win on the season, I believe. Yes, they are. That would be Johnny Barker in the 6 machine. He will roll off in that 3rd position, and to his outside, the driver is sitting 2nd in points here. He's looking for a good point tonight. That is the 46 of Dustin Coggin. Then rounding out our top 5 in the starting order, that would be the 23 machine of Joe Hudson. To Hudson's outside will be the 10 car of Rick Kennedy. Rolling off 7th will be Isaac Salas in the 5. Rob Lowell in the 21 GStone machine will start in 8th. 9th going to Ron Holyfield in the 25. And it will be the 32 machine of Bryson Anderson here, rounding out the top 10. Then we head back to drivers that did not take a lap time here tonight. Steve Ritter in the 61 machine. He will start in 11th. 12th going to the 62 of Frank Zingen. 13th will be the 1 car of Brandon Guerin. And starting shotgun on the field here tonight, making his first ever start, is the 28 machine of Ryan Vaughn. So that will do it here, and it looks like Ryan not making the grid, so the 28 machine will actually roll off from pit road, so he will have to hope for a caution to kind of get caught back up to the field. And that could be a tall order, because especially here tonight, especially with these group of drivers, we could very well see these 134 laps go green to the end. As here we go, folks, we get ready to turn them on loose for 134 laps here tonight. It is Koger and Coleman on the front row. The iRacing pace car here heads off onto pit road, and we head to green flag racing here tonight at Homestead, as Koger gets a great start on the bottom side. Johnny Barker will follow him on through to P number 2. Coleman will fall back to 3rd, but we'll find an opening to that bottom side and slot right in behind the 6th machine. Everyone else trying to slice and dice their way through, make sure that they can get up through the field. It looks like Dustin Coggin didn't have the greatest start in that one. Fell, I believe, 2 spots to 6 here currently. Of course, still having a lot of time here tonight, because holding lap number 2 of 135, you could definitely make your way towards the front. One driver already quickly doing that. Steve Ritter with a good start here, already inside of the top 10. Ritter already up into 8th here and starting to take a peek here just a little bit to the inside of the 25 machine of Holyfield. One driver here already taking it easy early in this one. The 21 machine of Rob Lowell here. He drops to that back of the pack here, currently just trying to click off laps here, trying to keep that car in one piece, manage those tires under him, because you know you can definitely push these tires, get them in a bad spot, and then it takes a while for them to come on back if they ever do here at this place. That's because this track is big enough that the straightaways you carry enough speeds, and then through the corners we see upwards of 150 miles an hour. And with the long sweeping corners that we see here tonight, it can put a lot of wear, a lot of heat into the tires here very quickly. So drivers have to be really cautious on the brake pedal and especially the throttle pedal, because the more and more I drive this place, it really comes down to how you can get in the throttle, get in enough to rotate the car, but not enough to kind of start to slide the right front or the right rear. So it's a really delicate balancing act as we start lap number 5 of 134 here at Homestead. Being able to make it out there on the Speedway, the 28 machine, of course, on his own area right now, but that is because starting from pit road, having to wait that little bit there and be able to exit off of the track as we now look at the battle for the race lead. Chad Coleman starting to put some pressure on Logan Koger. Right behind them, Isaac Salas taking a peek to the high side of Barker. Going to try the crossover move here down the front straightaway, though. Salas not going to have the run this time by, but will drive that car in deep. Take a peek to the outside once again. Might try another crossover here off of turn number 2. Once again, Johnny Barker having a lot of smoke under that hood of the 6 machine, able to hold the 5 car at bay for another straightaway, but how much longer can he hold Salas at bay? Because once again, taking a peek to the outside here off of turn number 4. Side-by-side battle here as they dive into turn number 1. Salas up top in that orange, red number 5. Barker down low in the blue number 6 Wolfpack Racing Machine. Those two getting a little closer off of turn number 2, but Salas will have the momentum, kind of have the preferred line, let's say, when it comes to making a pass here. Just got to wonder, can't burn up those tires too much here at the start of this one, but Salas should be able to get some pretty good runs here down these straightaways. As, man, I tell you what, Johnny Barker holding his own down here on the bottom side. These two have now been side by side for about 2 laps or so, as that is just allowing the front 2 runners to continue to get on away, and then of course draw cars like Joe Hudson, Dustin Coggin, Ron Holyfield closer to the 5 and the 6 here. Off of turn number 4 here, looks like Salas will get clear. Move Isaac Salas into P number 3 here, and right now tied as the biggest mover, up 4 spots from where he started. So the 5 car trying to quickly drive up to the front of this one, as right now Dustin Coggin taking a peek down to the high side of Joe Hudson, now going to cross him on over down the straightaway, and Dustin Coggin looks like we'll drive it in there deep. I think Joe Hudson also looking at the big picture, saying lap number 9, no need to really battle too hard for a position, because a lot of time to make up that time if you do lose a little bit here at the start over a long run here. Take a look here a little bit deeper in the field. The 1 car, Brandon Guerin here, trying to work over the 10 of Rick Kennedy. This is a battle for the 10th position out here on the Speedway. So this is kind of big, a top 10 running spot here between the 10 and the 1 car. We've seen the last few passes been kind of drivers getting a good run off the corner and then either getting a nose to the high side or trying the old classic crossover, get the run up top on corner exit, shoot down low on the straightaway, and then hopefully have enough of a run to maybe try and clear into the next corner. Frank Zingen here on the top side of Ron Holyfield. He will be able to complete the pass there down the back straightaway. So the Era 62 machine looking pretty sporty as well, as Zingen will go up to P number 7. And with that move, he becomes now the biggest mover on his own for the time being. So let's see what Frank can do, as now a lot of cars right in front of him. Gonna definitely be dealing with the dirty era. Up in front once again, Chad Coleman taking a peek to the inside of Koger for that race lead, but the 80 machine doing a great job holding on out for the time being. We'll see if that can continue to be the case. As we see right around about a 10th of the way already done in the race here tonight in this one. So as we see here tonight, we saw qualifying times, you know, just above a 30-second lap time. So laps, of course, going to go by pretty quickly here tonight. Brandon Guerin wasn't able to get around Rick Kennedy for that 10th position. Now Guerin under fire from Rob Lowell, as Lowell will take a peek to the inside, and that 21 machine going to drive it in there deep, try and get it to stick. He will in fact get it to stick, and it looks like the 21 machine will take over 11th and try and run down those cars in front of him, who are now in a battle here. Bryson Anderson and Rick Kennedy side by side, door number to door number here through 3 and 4. You can see further up there on the speedway once again, Isaac Salas, Johnny Barker once again starting to duke it on out, as we see Kennedy around Anderson for that 9th position. Well, we see guys starting to kind of use up a lot more of the racetrack. We see guys continue to run the bottom side like the 6th car here of Johnny Barker, trying to put those lefts either on that first black seam or all the way down right there on the white paint. That's kind of where you want to position your tires, help with some rotation in that race car, or else we'll see the opposite. Not this time by Salas, but the last few times, that 5 car up against the fence. Dustin Coggin this time kind of up there. And then you can see at the apex there, cuts that car on down, tries to get a straight run off the corner. And that's where everyone is trying to focus on. Is not sure if we have a problem or what happened, but Steve Ritter back to 13th here in this one. So the 61 machine, not sure if he's really backed up the pace or if he maybe got the wall or got big time loose, but Ritter back into 12th here currently. Out in front here, it's been Koger and Coleman here kind of pacing each other, playing maybe a little bit of a cat and mouse game between the two of them. Want to see what kind of pace the other driver can hit, try and maybe base their pace off of that, but they got to be careful. Can't, you know, slow up the pace too much. Don't want to fall into the pack of the cars behind them, because like we've seen, we have a gaggle about 5 of them right kind of all under a blanket, trying different lanes, all that sort of stuff. But there we kind of see a veteran move there by Coleman, entering about a car length higher than the 80 machine, trying to keep that clean air on the nose of the race car through the corner, then of course down the straightaways in that dirty air, because then it becomes a slipstream, can get a little bit more speed out of that race car. But there in 1 and 2, able to actually stay on the bumper of that 80 machine. Looks like Ron Holyfield may have gotten the wall there just a little bit off of turn number 2. Don't see any real damage on the 25 machine, but a little bit of sketchiness there entering turn number 3, so maybe having a little bit of handling issue on that 25, as right behind them Rob Lowell getting around Rick Kennedy for that 9th position. So that 21 machine trying to make his way back up through this field here. And so far back into the top 10 here in these first 20 laps of 134. Isaac Salas starting to run down our front 2 runners as we see Salas up there ripping the fence here right against that outside lane, and we got a chance, you know, with that win by Salas to be able to chat with him, and he's a big time dirt racer, so he knows a thing or two about putting a car right against the fence, right up against the wall. And I tell you what, doing that very nicely here. You gotta wonder though, is it using up those tires on the 5 machine? As man, Coleman right on the back bumper of Koger there, down the back straightaway. I mean, let's ride on board here with Salas just to get kind of a little bit of a perspective here of how close this 5 car is running against the fence here tonight at Homestead. But we can see here tonight, looking at those lap times there, kind of on the left side of our screen, best lap of 34.06, last time by a 35.8, so already over a 1.5-second fall off in these first, 25 laps or so. So that's what I mean, you got to take care of your tires because you can definitely pay for it in a hurry. But here we go, Salas taking a peek to the outside of Coleman. Of course, Coleman has a shorter distance there through that corner, but Salas going to have a big run here down the back straightaway, close up within 1 car length here of that 38 machine. So we could very well here have a 3-car battle for the race lead here. Yeah, we got Eli Raposa out here. How you doing tonight, Eli? Thanks again for jumping on in, tuning on into the stream. Yeah, a little update on the Wolfpack racing drivers. Johnny Barker currently leading the way of that group in that 4th position here. Then his teammate Rob Lowell in 8th, Steve Ritter in 11th. And yeah, that is the 3 Wolfpack racing cars out here tonight, currently running 4th, 8th, and 11th, almost kind of perfectly symmetrical through the field. If Ritter was down 1 spot, they would be nice and even through the field for the time being. But here we go, up in front, Johnny Barker now starting to close on into the race leaders. So maybe not even a 3-car battle, we might have a 4-car battle here in just a few laps. As here we go, Salas taking a peek to the inside of Coleman. This will be a battle for that 2nd position, and I tell you what, if there's one racer that would love to see these 2 start duking it on out, that is our race leader, Logan Koger, because that will allow the 80 machine to kind of drive on away by himself, be able to back up the pace, take care of those tires. But looks like that will not be the case, as Coleman once again right to the back bumper of our race leader. But Salas now has a nose to the outside of the 38 machine, as Koger will go up to block the top side, That'll leave the bottom wide open, and Chad Coleman says, thank you very much. We will take that gift right there. And off of turn number 4, new race leader, Chad Coleman will take over the point. Wow, I don't know if Logan Koger there just saw the run by Salas and thought he had to get up to the bottom side, but with that, that leaves the bottom side wide open, and Chad Coleman waiting for an opportunity to pounce, gets gifted one there into turn number 3, and we'll see what Coleman can do out in fresh air here. Remember that 38 machine looking to break records here for this inaugural season of the 802 Busch Series, looking for a record-setting 5th win on the season, and now taking over the race point with just about closing on up to 100 laps left in this one. Coleman's probably looking in a pretty good spot as here we go. Isaac Salas, the crossover move here off of turn number 2. There'll be a heads-up drag race here into turn number 3. Salas down low on the 5 machine. Up top is the 80 of Logan Koger, and Koger gonna hold the 5 car down low. Remember, Salas mostly running up there on the top side, so not used to blowing up that race car down there on the bottom side. Could maybe affect his passing abilities as we see Salas head right back up to the top side here in 1 and 2. Once again, Salas up here on the top side. Koger, though, going to have that shorter distance, going to be able to hold off the 5 car for the time being. And yeah, that's the one bummer with the top side is, so is contact there into turn number 1. Salas into the back bumper of Logan Koger, but luckily no harm, no foul. Koger able to hang on to that race car. That allowed Johnny Barker to sneak a little spot there to P number 3, so Barker up to 3rd. Salas gonna have to try and regroup. It looks like no damage, luckily, on the nose of that 5 machine. Yeah, we appreciate you tuning on in, Eli. Always good to see you, of course, out there on track, and with you in the YouTube chat lands, maybe we'll get a little insight from you. Have a good talking point for Sunday night. We know you're in the round of 10 there, cutoff race with that. How you feeling for Homestead on Sunday night? We know you got a decent amount of work cut out in front of you, but I got to give you a lot of props, my man. A round of 10 appearance, always awesome to see from that 46 machine. So once again, congrats on that. And yeah, let me know what your mindset is and game plan into Homestead, of course, without giving all the secrets away. As we see Salas here now getting around Logan Koger for that 3rd position. And Johnny Barker, oh, Koger gonna show his displeasure a little bit. Get the 5 car, big shot in the shorts right at the apex. So we'll keep the camera on these two because I'm sure this might not be done between the two of them, because here with 100 laps left in this one, these two getting rowdy with each other, man. Still a lot of racing left on the docket, boys. We got to calm it on down maybe a little bit. Look at the big picture here. Salas once again here to the top side of Koger for that 3rd position. Let's see how this looks here off of turn number 4. This time no harm, no foul. So I think maybe Koger just want to let him know, hey, you did it to me, we're going to give it on back. And they trade one blow between the two of them, and it looks like maybe that's where things will cool on off for the time being. But yeah, with those two kind of going at it, it has allowed Johnny Barker to kind of check on out in that P number 2 spot. So it is our top 5 currently looking like Coleman, then Barker, Salas in 3rd, Koger in 4th. And look at this guy, Joe Hudson here, running down that 5 and 80. Hudson in 5th. Coggin in 6th, but now under fire from Rob Lowell. Frank Zingen down on pit road. Same with Bryson Anderson. So we see our first round here of green flag pit stops here as the strategy already starting to open on up here tonight at Homestead. So Frank Zingen down and off of pit road. No harm, no foul. He will be down and away. Bryson Anderson having an extended stop kind of down here. He will be on pit road for quite a bit of time, it looks like, as that 32 machine does have some right front damage. It looks like Anderson might call it a night as well. As Zingen, he will be down and away. So that 62 machine might be trying a little bit of an alternate strategy for the time being. As here we go, Joe Hudson, like I said before, running down that 80 machine now to the inside of him as, woo! We saw that red and silver car right behind them, Rob Lowell, big time sideways there off of turn number 2, and that's something that these cars can start to develop into, is they can start to get so tight at the apex, you start putting a ton of wheel in it, that when you get on the throttle, that rear end tries to step out right from underneath you. So driver's going to have to kind of be aware of that. We also see now the one car of Brandon Guerin. He will come down pit road here tonight as well. So some of the drivers may be a little bit deeper in the field, trying maybe a little bit of an alternate strategy here in this one. As we now, of course, have double digits laps left here tonight in this one. I tell you what, up towards the front, Johnny Barker has been running down our race leader, Chad Coleman. Last time by, Coleman a 36.22. Johnny Barker a 35.80. So Barker quite a bit faster than Coleman. This 6 car took his time there at the start, running the bottom every single lap. And I think we'll see that pay dividends here big time from the 6 machine. And we can see that as now Johnny Barker within 0.3 of a second, for this race lead. So yeah, this 6 car Johnny Barker looking very, very hooked on up here for the time being. Dustin Coggin here trying to run down Red Kennedy, so not sure if the 46 maybe had something kind of go on, as a little bit deeper in the field than the last time we kind of checked on the 46. But here we go, battle for the race lead. Johnny Barker to the inside of Chad Coleman, and Barker through the corner to the point. New race leader, the 6 car Johnny Barker. If you can believe this stat, Barker is looking for his first career win on the season. It's mind-boggling that that is the case here, but here tonight, things looking pretty good for the 6, though he will have to have, of course, Lady Luck on his side. That's where it seems like that 6 car always loses on out. So we see the 62 machine of Frank Zingen there on fresh tires, gonna get his lap back the hard way. So 62 machine back onto the lead lap, let's say, but of course, you know, quite a bit back, a full track length on back. So that's gonna be a lot of time to try and make on up with those tires. As we head back, of course, to this battle for 4th, Joe Hudson continuing to try and get around Logan Koger, but Koger once again holding strong. Let's ride on board with the 80 machine, kind of looking on back here to the 23, or maybe to the inside as well, as those two once again in a good battle here for that 4th position. As we see Rob Lowell, he will head to pit road here that time by. So interesting call, because I thought Rob, you know, did a good job at the start of the race taking care of his stuff, but he is going to be one of the first drivers here to pit road. And woo, you saw Joe Hudson there get tight on corner exit, really come up to the track in a hurry, really had to lift to not get into the left rear quarter panel there of the 80 machine. As we take a look here, as Koger going to have quite a bit of a gap here to Hudson. So you can see last time by, once again, now over 2 seconds of fall off here. So that's why maybe that short pit might be the way to go. We'll have to wait and see how this all plays on out, but I do like a lot of strategy, and we are seeing that here tonight at Homestead. Out in front though, Johnny Barker starting to walk on away from the field. Isaac Salas up into P number 2. Chad Coleman has dropped back to third. Then remember, now it's quite a bit of a ways gap back to Logan Koger in the 80 machine. So hey Eli, that's a good way to put it there. Yeah, the old $4 million from an old government daycare. That's a good one right there. But yeah, it's gonna be a long shot for you. We'll be rooting for you for sure up in the booth. You know, always love to see you try and make it on to the next round there. But yeah, you'll have definitely your work cut out for you. But anything could be possible. But yeah, once again, of course, we gotta congratulate you for the round of 10 there and putting in another great season of effort together. Yeah, like you said there, that camaraderie with a good team, man, that is tough to beat. Luckily, I have some of that and found some of that on the sim. And I always tell people, you never know who you're gonna come across on the sim. You never know who you're gonna make friends with, who you're going to become buddies with, because, you know, at the end of the day, all of us would probably never meet each other if it wasn't for this sim. And it gives a lot of kind of cool opportunities as we see two cars here down on pit road, Rick Kennedy and Dustin Coggin, both coming on down to pit road. Pretty much now the top 7 has yet to be to pit road. So, excuse me, let's make it the top 6 has yet to be to pit road. So we'll keep an eye on that. See how that shakes on out here tonight. As Isaac Salas here has started to run down Johnny Barker. Barker low on the back straightaway. That kind of tells me maybe as a racer that the 6 car could be maybe heading to pit road. We'll see if that is the case. No, it won't be. The 6 car of Johnny Barker here going to try and run the middle side, as Salas once again back to the top side and finding a lot of speed up there late into a run. That is the time where that top side is going to be very fast, very late into the run when the tires don't have the grip as they once did to kind of get that car to turn and hit the bottom side. And down the back straightaway, battle for the race lead. Salas will have the advantage into turn number 3. Barker with the big brain call right there, losing the race lead, headed to pit road right away. I love that call from the 6 camp, as we have another new race leader out here tonight. Isaac Salas trying to get back to victory lane here in the 802 iRacing Busch Series. So now that makes it just 5 cars yet to visit pit road. Salas, Coleman, Koger, Ritter, Holyfield all have yet to pit in the 5 car on the bottom side. That tells me one thing: Salas heading to pit road here on lap number 50. Chad Coleman looks like he will stay out for another lap here, so Coleman will take back over the point here in the middle of green flag pit stops with Salas. Steve Ritter down on pit road. Same with the 25 machine of Ron Holyfield. So with cars kind of starting to get spread on out, we take a look here at the track map. It looks like the short pit of Frank Zingen, he will shake on out to the race lead over currently Rob Lowe. We'll see if he will hang on to that spot. Yes, he will, as he'll get around Salas, as Salas just leaving pit road in that 5 machine. It'll be interesting to see where he blends out with Johnny Barker, because Barker just going into turn number 1. He is up to speed. Salas still on the access road. And it's going to be close between the two of them. How will they blend and it looks like Salas with the advantage, but Barker with the momentum. He will get to the outside of the 5 car, and Johnny Barker will be able to have that spot. That could be a very critical pass here, especially as this race continues to build into this long run here tonight. First 52 laps have been clean and green here at Homestead. So that just leaves 2 cars yet to visit pit road. The 38 machine of Chad Coleman, same with the 80 machine of Logan Koger. I would assume the 38 and the 80 trying to run this pace as long as possible. Run this car out of fuel for stint number 1. Try and save that second and final tire set for as late as possible. As here we go, we see Chad Coleman here safely down onto pit road. That only leaves now 1 car yet to pit, and that is the 80 machine of Koger. So Ryan Holyfield there will get his lap back the hard way, so not only puts 1 car currently 1 lap down, and that is that 28 machine, as Logan gonna stay out on track for yet another lap. So he is definitely pushing this pace. I am impressed how much fuel is in that 80 machine, as he is trying to stretch it as far as possible. Brandon Guerin, not sure if the 1 car having an issue or what's going on, but we see Brandon Guerin here onto the access road here in the 1 machine. So we'll keep an eye, see what happened to Brandon, but he was in the points hunt for most of the season, but after a tough kind of few races, he has fallen out of touch, about 58 points back from Koger, and that's going to be a tough thing to overcome, especially maybe with another kind of tough night here in this one. As we do see Logan Koger here down on pit road, so that will now complete our first round of green flag pit stops here in this one. Once it cycles on out here, Frank Zingen gonna be our new race leader. So the 62 machine gonna pick up a bonus point for a lap led, but how much longer can it be? Because Rob Lowell, he is running down that 62 machine. Last time by, the 21 was a whole second faster than the 62, and that was just a difference of 8 lap difference of pitting. Frank Zingen down on pit road there on 34. Rob Lowell down on pit road on 42. So 8 laps and a few laps into the run, a second difference. Wow. That's why I said tires gonna make a huge difference here tonight in this one. And of course the driver on the freshest tires, Logan Koger, but he is the last car on the lead lap right in front of our race leader. So we'll see what the 80 machine can do here for the pace for the rest of this race. Johnny Barker there able to get around Joe Hudson. Hudson about 5 laps sooner than Barker. And Barker already able to get on around. Now here comes Salas as well to get around the 23 machine. Probably within this lap here. As we start to get very, very close to the halfway point of this one here tonight. So far here tonight, first 60 laps about to click on over have been all clean and green. As we see Salas get on by. Now we see Rob Lowell taking over the point, and Frank Zingen will bring the 62 machine to pit road. So not sure if Zingen with the strategy call here with this one, or But the 62 down on pit road. Not sure if it was an unscheduled stop or, like I was just saying, a strategy call here for the 62, but down on pit road here in this one. As it looks like, yeah, maybe an unscheduled pit stop, as it looks like he will jump out of the race car here, so might have had maybe a cylinder going on down, but Frank Zingen here out of this one. But our current race leader, Rob Lowell, here with the point. Johnny Barker, though, trying to track him on down. Barker seemed like he had the best long run pace up until Salas got that top side really rock and roll late into the run. So I'm sure Barker kind of saw that. We'll see probably Johnny here this time run the bottom for probably the first 30 or so laps. Then about the last 20 start to migrate maybe to the middle, maybe towards the top, and at least try and take the line away from the 5 car. But of course, this is the best battle on the Speedway between the 6 and the 5, that is. Everyone else a gap of about 2 seconds or more. So with these green flag pit stops, of course, you know, it can get things spread on out in a hurry, and that is the case here tonight at Homestead, as everyone kind of running whatever pace they are trying to shoot for, as it's pretty much a race against you, the car, and keeping those tires underneath that race car up until your next and probably final pit stop of the night, because I believe it's still 2 tires only in this series. So of course, 1 set of tires already used on up, whether from lap 42 to, like we said, we saw all the way to 55 by Koger. So Johnny Barker has started to run down Rob Lowell for the race lead. Last time by, Barker 0.8 of a second faster than that 21 machine. He is now within 5 car lengths. Now make it 3, now make it 1 here down the back straightaway. Johnny Barker trying to take back over the race lead here right before the halfway point here tonight in the Vice City 201. Through 3 and 4, you can see the tire difference and the pace right there. And Johnny Barker back to the point here tonight in this one. And you know, looking at the big picture of the points, we got to, of course, you know, give kind of a lot of credit to these drivers. I mean, Johnny Barker still 5th in points overall. Rob Lowell 10th in points. Isaac Salas, of course, coming in here super late in the season, though. Salas trying to chase some more checkered flags. He finds himself in a really good spot in this one. Oh man, it looks like maybe some trouble for the 28 of Ryan Vaughn, as Vaughn here already kind of slowed down there on the apron. Not sure if he had some sort of trouble or maybe just thinking about kind of just parking the pace from the 28 machine. But another casualty of the night, as Brandon Guerin actually back out there on the Speedway. So Guerin should be able to jump up to about P number 11, and that actually leaves only 11 cars out here in the race. As I tell you what, since those green flag pit stops, Isaac Salas has not let Johnny Barker out of his sights. Salas now within 2 car lengths. Now make it 1/2 a car length to the outside down the back straightaway. Who will it be leading at the cross flags? Because we will see that here at the start finish line. Off at turn number 4, it will be Johnny Barker. He will be the first car to see the cross flags here tonight. As for 134 laps, we are halfway down, halfway home here in race number 22 of the 802 iRacing Busch Series. Heads up, side by side racing here down the back straightaway. Isaac Salas has been very, very good up in that outside lane. He is trying to get that thing pinned and that momentum moving. This time, give the advantage to the 5, and Salas will get clear of Barker. How about that? Salas back to the point. Barker still down there on that bottom side. Salas right there. We saw it right when we jumped on board with the 5 car. Just kind of jumped that air cushion. Just got a little bit of the wall. Luckily, no harm, no foul for the 5 machine, but he is definitely trying to find the limit and definitely finding it with that race lead here tonight. As I tell you what, if there's one track a dirt track racer will be good at on the pavement side, Homestead, Miami is definitely up there in drivers' kind of list, and this is it right here, kind of looking Kyle Larson-esque, ripping that fence, but there may be a little bit of an Alex Bowman moment, as once again we see Salas flirting with that outside wall, and that's kind of the risk you're going to have to take each and every time you decide to run that top side. So here tonight, top 5, Salas here leading the way over Johnny Barker in second. Rob Lowe hanging on to P number 3 in the 21. Then it is the 23 of Joe Hudson in fourth. And Dustin Coggin once again inside the top 5 here tonight. The 46 car sits 5th. Rick Kennedy in 6th. Steve Ritter back up into 7th here tonight. Ron Holyfield in 8th. Chad Coleman still back in 9th, so staying on out. He is still mired pretty deep here in this field, but continuing to chip away here at the time. Last time by, it was both Coleman and the driver behind him of Koger, the fastest cars out here on the Speedway. And remember, they last pitted on about 53, 55, so the next time they could come in, we could see them at, another 25 or so laps, and that's still a lot of time around this Speedway here. As I think, with these guys ripping around the racetrack, I'm going to go take a break from yapping for a minute, get a drink of water, and let the cars do the talking. So what do we say we do a little turn 3, turn it up here tonight at Homestead Miami Speedway. Alrighty, folks, we head back to, of course, live racing action. We'll get the time and scoring and the track map pulled back on up, of course. But things to keep an eye on. Chad Coleman up into 8th, was able to get around Ron Holyfield for that 8th position. So those cars of Coleman and Koger still continue to put down some really, really good lap times here. Rob Lowe, of course, last pitted on 42, so if he were to do another 42 laps, that would put him heading to pit road right around in about 6 laps or so. And I tell you what, if he could hang on to 3rd by the time the 21 pits, that would be a very, very good sign. And pitting on 84 should get him enough to the end, because that would still be 50 laps or so. And we saw many of drivers do that in that first stint. But yeah, it did seem like that short pit did work on out for that 21 machine, able to jump up into those podium spots and continue to run up that way for the 21. So a great strategy call. I wasn't sure about it at first, but I tell you what, it is paying dividends right now to that 21. And if we get a chance to talk with him, we got to ask him where he got that strategy call from. Three cars all within kind of a second of each other. That would be Rick Kennedy, Dustin Coggin, and Steve Ritter. All three of those, like I said, within a second of one another. So we could see these guys kind of battling on out, as I think Kennedy starting to drive away just a little bit from Coggin. Coggin, one of the first drivers here with those tires, as he last pitted on 46. Whereas Ritter last pitted on 50. Rob Lowe looks like he may lose that 3rd position here to Joe Hudson, but going to try and hang on strong up in that 2nd lane, and looks like we'll be not quite able to do that. But I tell you what, Hudson being very courteous, giving that 21 machine the top side the whole time there, but Rob Lowe jumping the cushion a little bit, as they would say in dirt, getting a little piece of the wall there on corner entry into turn number 1. We'll try and see if that right front has any sort of damage or anything like that. That is what you don't want to do, especially at a track like we have here tonight at Homestead. But it looks like no harm, no foul to that 21, as he was able to hit it just lightly enough to kind of scrape maybe a little bit of paint off that wall, maybe a little bit of decals off the car, but he is still looking all right, at least in that damage department. Steve Ritter now within 3 car lengths of Dustin Coggin for that 6th position. So, like I said, the 61 car, about 4 lap newer tires on that race car. Later and later into the run, we'll see that pay off more and more, because Ritter knows he's kind of got to get after it, because Chad Coleman now behind him by less than 2 seconds. So Coleman continues to put down some really, really good laps. Last time by, Coleman, one of the best cars on the Speedway with a 35.79, but Isaac Salas from that top lane, he was able to throw down a 35.68. So Salas has definitely figured something out in that outside lane, and with that, he has now a 3-second advantage over Johnny Barker in 2nd. So we see right there Steve Ritter get around Coggin for that 6th position. So he will try now set sail, see if he can get Rick Kennedy before the next time they do come to pit road. And like I said, if Rob Lowe were to pit the same time he did in that first stint, he would come down here this time by, but it looks like going to try and run it out a little bit longer. I say, yeah, he might as well do that. Has the time behind him. I mean, it's about 5 seconds back to Rick Kennedy, so Rob Lowe has time to give on up with these tires, and that'll put him on a much more even playing field for this final stint. And he'll already have that track position. He just has to make sure he doesn't get any damage on that 21 machine. I tell you what, Isaac Salas has figured out this top line once again. We got to ride on board with him, see what Salas is doing, and you can see that 5 machine right on the fence like a true good dirt racer. He knows right where that wall is, right where that corner of the race car is at. Not pushing the envelope, but carrying enough speed where it's just enough where he can get the rotation without getting into the wall here. I tell you what, that is a thing of beauty riding on board. I am kind of, flinching a little bit with that wall being so close, but Salas right up against the fence, and that's where you got to be to really make a ton of time late into a run, and he is doing just that. And man, that is impressive to watch. I don't think I have any sort of right side cameras because that would be really good to look at here. We at least got a roof camera to give us kind of more perspective on the right front corner of that car. And I mean, man, Salas within, it seems like millimeters of the wall here. I think that 5 car might be getting a little bit tight. You can see him starting to enter a little bit more shallow. That means that car is not rotating as well as he would like on corner entry, trying to give him that buffer to kind of slide up into the corner here. As this time though, into 3, we'll start right on the fence. That time we'll get the fence. So that is the sword's edge you got to race on here tonight with running that top side. I said it many a times. We'll probably say it again, but I tell you what, man, Salas doing a great job ripping that top side out here tonight. And once again now up to about almost a 4-second advantage, as here we go, the first takers for this final green flag pit stop. Rob Lowe, he was the first one there in that first stint. He'll be the first one here in the second stint. The 21 safely onto pit road, into the box he will go. Isaac Salas now, we'll see about 44 laps to go here in this one. So about 20 or so laps until we get into the countdown clock and start counting down to the end of this one. Another car here down on pit road, Dustin Coggin will bring it down here on lap number 90. So pit road will probably start to pick up here in a hurry, as there we go. We see Chad Coleman, Steve Ritter here side by side, as it looks like Coleman will get around Ritter for now currently the 5th position, as right in front of them Rob Lowe will rejoin off of pit road there. So Coleman up to 5th, maybe here up into 4th in a hurry, as next car in front of him, Rick Kennedy, sits about 2.5 car lengths up in front of the 38 machine. So remember, Coleman last pitted on 53, so definitely could take it to another about 10 laps or so if needed. Another taker down on pit road, that would be the 23 machine of Joe Hudson. He will come down pit road here on 92. Coleman will get clear there into turn number 1. So now Chad Coleman back up into P number 3, but quite a ways back from Johnny Barker, then a whole bunch of ways back from Salas. So it should be interesting here when we see the 5 and the 6 decide to come down pit road. And does Coleman maybe flip on the strategy and say, you know what, we saw the pace we kind of lost with kind of trying to stay out there long. Does he maybe try and short pit the cars in front of him? A lot of options. These drivers are weighing here late into this one. So Rob Lowe importantly, was able to come out in front of Joe Hudson once again. Be about 3.5 seconds in front of that 23 machine. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. As now Rick Kennedy under fire here once again, now by the 61 machine of Steve Ritter, as both Kennedy and Ritter once again down on pit road here together, as they will both here head to pit road. The question now becomes who will be the better car into the box and off of pit road. It will be a heads-up race between the two of them. Both them pinned here on lap 94. As Salas will once again stay up against the fence here. Going to stay out yet another lap here for our race leader in the 5. Now put about the top 5 still yet to pit here tonight. That'll be Salas, Barker, Coleman, Holyfield, and Koger once again have yet to visit pit road. The first car that has completed their second green flag pit stop and is good to the end on fuel, Rob Lowell, sits in that position there in the 21. Salas once again going to stay out another lap. Johnny Barker will now try and undercut our race leader. Barker down on pit road here on 96. We'll see what he can do, as don't forget, folks, Barker, of course, looking for yet another top 5 on the season. This will be the 4th top 5 on the season for the 6 machine. As Salas here seeing the 6 car on pit road, in trouble for Salas. He will not get the car woed on up for pit road. He will have to go down another lap, make another lap, and he will lose a ton of time to Barker and the rest of the field, as he will try and get that car back up to speed, but Coleman goes from about 12 seconds back to now within 3 seconds, as Salas tried to push the envelope just a little bit too much heading to pit road and had to pay a big price there. That could maybe give up the race lead for the 5 machine right there. This time coming to pit road a lot better looking from the 5 machine. He will make it here to pit road here now on lap 97. Oh man. That is going to be very interesting to watch, as now only 3 cars yet to pit here tonight in this one. Coleman, Holyfield, and Koger. Johnny Barker, Dustin Coggin here going to battle for position, but this will be a tire difference of about 6 laps, and that advantage going to the 6 car of Barker. And I think as long as Barker doesn't put himself in a really bad position, he should walk away with the race lead when it's all said and done, because his teammate Rob Lowell sits about, I want to say right around 7 seconds in front of the 6 car. And we've seen with a tire difference of a whole second a lap, that 6 car should definitely have enough time to make it on up, as here on 99 we see Coleman down and away from pit road. So Coleman will get things back rocking and rolling. And yeah, with Salas having that issue, he will recycle out to about the 10th position or so, and him and Coleman will be right close to each other on the pace. The 5 car gonna have to push a ton this final kind of 35 laps, because we can see Barker now already going into turn number 1 by the time the 5 car is getting off turn number 4 there. Logan Koger here down on pit road. He will be down and away for the 80 machine as soon as they get those left side slapped on the race car. So Logan down and away. We'll see what he can rebound to and make his way up through the field, as he will be once again back by himself on his own island for the most part in the final car here to complete green flag pit stops. Ron Holyfield will go into the box, and Holyfield gets to walk away here tonight with a lap led for that 25 team. Steve Ritter here once again trying to get around Rick Kennedy for position. Kennedy about 4 laps sooner on the pit road than the 61 machine, so 61 just trying to make up that time here from pitting later compared to the 10. Will have that tire advantage, so once he gets either to the inside or the outside, 61 should be able to complete the pass, and I'll put Ritter here into the top 5 late in this one. Still the best battle here on the Speedway is the battle here between the 61 and that 10 machine, but Steve Ritter still trying to manage that pace in the 61. Still a lot of time left here in this one, about 30 laps or so. Still can have a lot of fall off. We've seen, almost 2 seconds of fall off in 30 laps, so we see Ritter, not trying to push the envelope too much, but out in front. Rob Lowell here starting to get tracked down by Joe Hudson, so we may have a battle for the race lead here before we know it. And don't look now, but Johnny Barker, he is within 2 seconds of the 21 machine. Joe Hudson there had a beautiful turn 1 and 2. Now going to take a peek to the inside of that 21 machine. Those two will go side by side in turn 3 and 4. And this is a battle for the race lead here late in this one. Hudson will get off there on the very, very low side. Left side's on the paint right where the straightaway goes, but looks like Rob Lowell will try and take that line away here in turns 1 and 2. Going to do just that. And I tell you what, the more Hudson gets hauled up here by Lowell, the quicker Johnny Barker can enter this picture. Barker now, we just mentioned he was within 2 seconds. How about now within 1 second of our race leader here? Once again, Joe Hudson here trying to get to the inside of the 21 machine. Rob Lowell knows this could be a very important spot. Overall, this could be, of course, for a race win in case, something happens out there on the racetrack, but also could be the difference between second and third on the podium, because the rest of the field all under a blanket as well. So that's going to be something we got to keep an eye on. As here we go, Joe Hudson, Rob Lowell side by side here for the race lead. Hudson once again down there on the bottom side. Rob Lowell up on the top side, keeping the momentum rocking and rolling in that 21 machine. Like I said, then behind them, a great battle between Kennedy, Coggin, Salas, Ritter, all under a blanket. We will go to that as well, as Salas will get around Coggin there for that 5th position. So Salas isn't giving up here tonight. Could maybe walk away with a podium spot when it's all said and done, but he will have to continue to keep his head down and keep the foot on the throttle. up towards the front. Johnny Barker has gone around Joe Hudson. That is a big pass. Now it is the two teammates for the race lead, and off of turn number 4, it will be Johnny Barker with the race lead as we kick on over to 25 laps left in this one here tonight at Homestead, Miami Speedway. Joe Hudson and Rob Lowell still duking it out for that second position as Lowell gets big time loose there off of turn number 2. That'll allow Hudson to hang on to second, and then behind them, Isaac Salas able to get around Rick Kennedy, so Salas up into 4th into clean air, has to make up about 6 seconds in these last 24 laps. Does the 5 car have that left in the tank here to be able to chat with us here and walk away with another podium on the season? Because not too many races left to get podiums. Remember, folks, after tonight, just 3 races left on the schedule. We have Old Atlanta, Nashville Fairgrounds, and then Kansas Speedway to wrap up the inaugural 802 Busch Series. Yeah, up in the top 3, not too much going on up there. Johnny Barker trying to drive away from the rest of the field. Barker about a second advantage over Hudson. And we got to go a half a second back to Rob Lowell. And then keeping an eye on lap times between Lowell and Salas. Last time by a half a second evenly. Salas was faster than Rob Lowell. And that is enough time for the 5 car to get there to the 21 machine before the end of this one. Yeah, because all Salas needs to do from here on out has to be at least 0.2 of a second or faster. Last time by down to 0.4 of a second, but still that is good enough to try and have that 5 car run down that 21 machine. We'll see if that will continue to be the case. Deeper in the field here, Chad Coleman trying to get around Dustin Coggin here. This is the battle for the 7th position. So, and strategy call that I thought wouldn't blow up as much as it would in the face here for the 38 and the 80, staying out super late in that first stint. Those two have yet to make up really any track position, as Coleman still back into 7th here. Still having some time though to make up some time. I mean, Salas still about 4 seconds out in front. And last time by, still Coleman was right around the fastest car out on the speedway. Koger and Holyfield were just about a 10th faster, but they sit quite a ways back here from the rest of this pack here. Joe Hudson here not having quite the pace that he would need to run away from Rob Lowell. Lowell is starting to re-catch this 23 machine, so here before we know it, we might have a battle for second here once again out here on the speedway. Last time by Rob Lowell, really good lap, a 35.63, whereas Isaac Salas a 35.50. So that is enough of what Rob Lowell needs to do to hold the 5 car at bay for these next 18 and a half laps left. So it's all about managing this pace for the rest of this race here, and who will come out on top with that. Once again, Joe Hudson still running this bottom side, protecting this bottom side out here, whereas Rob Lowell once again adventuring up to the top side, finding speed in that outside lane. And I would say, especially with about 15 to go, you don't really care too much if you bounce it off the wall, because at that point you're already pushing these race cars as much as you can. As right there down the back straightaway, we see Rob Lowell taking back over second up until he gets the wall there in 3 and 4. Now put the 21 machine back into third, and have him put back down his head, recollect his thoughts, regain his rhythm, and try and get back at it, because was able to just get clear of Hudson. Now going to have to once again try and get that pass done from that 23 machine. And we can see Salas now within that same straightaway of the 23 and the 21. Well, maybe with just a kiss of the wall there off of turn number 2, but once again, I think no harm, no foul from that 21 machine. Another driver here testing the limits of the race car. How close can he get to the wall? And I think a few times has gotten to that limit here tonight at Homestead. That time by, we now see 15 laps left in this one, in a race that has gone green up until this point. We have yet to see a caution flag. I'll go knock on some wood for Johnny Barker. As you know, like I said, we were due for a long run here, because last time we had a race that did not have any cautions. That was about 3 weeks ago at Chicagoland Speedway. We had 0 cautions there. Then, of course, 7 cautions at Vegas. Last week at Gateway, we had only 1 caution, so that's what I was saying. This race could very much set on up to a long run race, and it has done just that here. Ryan Vaughn here back down on pit road here, probably for the final time for that 28 machine. I think when it's all said and done, looks like the first start for Ryan will be right around a 11th place finish. So the first car outside of the top 10. Nothing to hang your head about with that one. As once again, man, Rob Lowe trying to get that momentum, trying to complete the pass there on Joe Hudson. Once again, we see Lowell get loose there off of turn number 2, just trying to find that little bit extra speed to get around the 23, and that time just stepping over the line of traction there. Steve Ritter here once again re-catching Rick Kennedy here for that 5th position. I thought this battle was going to happen a lot sooner, but I tell you what, Rick Kennedy has found himself some really, really good pace in this 10 machine, as Kennedy on pace right now for a top 5 finish, beating the likes of Steve Ritter and Chad Coleman. So that would be a really, really awesome run from Kennedy here tonight. And let me see for him, it would be Kennedy's, 4th top 5 on the season if he could get the job done here tonight in this one. As like I said, looking pretty good, but has 2 very, very good competitors trying to reel in that 10 machine. But this time by for Johnny Barker, we now see 2 hands from the flag. Man, it is now 10 laps to go in the Vice City 201 from Homestead Miami Speedway. Like I was saying before, folks, Johnny Barker looking for his first win of the season, not only in the Busch Series, but also the Cup Series. I don't think Johnny Barker has ever had a winless season here in the 802 iRacing League. And with, 3 races left, the hourglass running on out. But here tonight, he could end his drought and he is looking to do that on his own island. Got some help from Lady Luck a little bit with Solace missing pit road entry. But you know, with 8 laps to go, Johnny Barker hoping and praying there is no caution to end this race on out, because that 6 car is looking very sporty here. Last time by Isaac South, about 3/10 of a second better than Rob Lowell. He is within now about 2 seconds of Lowell. So, you know, with 7 laps left, we'll have to make up about 3/10 or so each and every lap to maybe have one shot to try and get around the 21 machine. So, Sal is trying to do just that here in this one, as he is trying to get every mile per hour out of that race car. Joe Hudson and Ryan Vaughn make contact here out on the Speedway, and oh no, we get that late race caution here in this one as Ryan Vaughn goes around off of the nose of Joe Hudson. So we will take a look here off of turn number 2 to see what happened, as it looks like Hudson maybe got tight or misjudged the reblend, but yeah, just got right into the quarter panel of that 28 machine, as Ryan trying to keep it off of that wall. I believe just going to get a little bit of the piece with the nose of that race car. Yeah, kind of a welcome to the league for the 28 machine. And man, this now makes this quite a bit of a different race here in this one, as we see Joe Hudson here down on pit road. So not sure if Hudson here just called it a night after that, or we also see Coleman here down on pit road. Same with Ron Holyfield. So it's going to be a shootout in this one. And I tell you what, man, we are giving Johnny Barker some accolades late in this one. Now he is really going to have to earn this first win on the season. Because like we saw Isaac Salas, he is now within striking distance, has a second shot, second chance at the win here tonight. And then we got to look back here. Rick Kennedy with some really fresh tires on the 10. Same with the 61. Logan Koger with some good tires as well. So, man, oh man, it's going to be a sprint to the finish here in this one. And I tell you, a race that has been pretty calm, pretty collected, may get very chaotic, because we'll see people drive all the way to the white line on the bottom to ripping the fence. And if I'm Johnny Barker, I'm seeing whatever lane, you know, Salas is running, I'm probably going up there to try and block that. As here we go, the lights go out on the iRacing pace car. Johnny Barker going to choose the inside lane. So we'll re-rack them, restack them, and get ready to get back to our first restart of the night. And it will be a green, white checkered here to end things on off. Not quite a green-white checkered, but an extra lap thrown in there. Just remember, folks, if we don't see the white flag, we get a caution. Then we do go into our 1 of 3 attempts at a green-white checker. But if we do get the white flag and then there's an incident on track, that doesn't matter. We are racing back to the checkered no matter what happens on the Speedway. So here we go, our first restart late in this one. and it's going to be two Wolfpack racing cars on the front row of the restart. Johnny Barker in the 6 going to be in control. Rob Lowell in the 21 to the outside. Isaac Salas, row number 2. Same with Rick Kennedy. Row number 3, Steve Ritter and Dustin Coggin. The iRacing pace car here heads off of pit road. And here we go. Rob Lowell, big time wheel spin. He will go on around, and right away we get our second caution, and that will kick off our first attempt at some green-white checkers. And I tell you what, that one coming out right away, and that is the classic old tires wheel spin action. And you can definitely have these cars get away from you in a hurry, as we'll take a look here one more time to see that 21 machine. And you can see that car just hook up right away, shoot him right to that right side. And once that happens, especially being in that outside lane, you're already so close to that wall that you will get that. And I tell you what evasive maneuver there by Logan Koger. I don't know how he didn't get a piece there of that 21 machine. Same with the 25 of Ron Holyfield. Wow. Both of those cars, two very, very close calls. As let's try and ride on board here with Holyfield to kind of watch that one. As all of a sudden, cars spinning on around, coming to a stop, and whoo, that was a close call. So like I was just saying, man, calm and collected start of the race. That is not the case from here, as we now go into our 3 attempts at some green-white checkers, and now wheel spin definitely in the forefront of each and every driver from here on out. And now Isaac Salas, we saw his mistake coming to pit road. He probably thought he threw this race on away. He gets a lifeline here in this one, as he will get to start on the front row. Now we know how good Salas is on the top side, but I think once again Johnny Barker has to give Salas the top side, because into turn number 1 you're not quite up to full speed. So with the lead car, let's say, being on the bottom side, they have the shorter distance. They can then determine where they want to go into 3 and 4, because by then you are built up into speed. And if I'm Johnny Barker, I have my eyes glued to that mirror, just trying to give as much dirty air as I possibly can to the car behind without overstepping my car here and putting myself in a bad spot. We'll see if that can be the case, but man, I tell you what, you know, Logan Koger was probably thinking he was way out of it. He now gets to restart in the 4th position. So man, some big time shakeups here late in this one. Once again, we see the iRacing pace car extinguish the lights. We will double on up the field and get ready for our second attempt at a restart here tonight. And once again, we see Johnny Barker in control in the 6 car on the bottom side. Isaac Salas in the 5 will be the other car on the front row. Row number 2 being made up of Steve Ritter and Logan Koger. Then row number 3 there will be Rick Kennedy and Dustin Coggin. Alrighty, here we go. We wait for the iRacing pace car to head off pit road. We'll do that. Now Johnny Barker can fire off anytime into the restart zone. We'll do that. We'll get a great start there. Salas with some wheel spin. Koger going to try and take a peek to the high side, but Salas will block him into turn number 1. Koger, though, will drive it in there deep. We'll get a nose to the outside. This is what Johnny Barker needs for these guys behind him to fight very hard. Steve Ritter will get turned on around. Logan Koger will go on around. Big time hits to the inside wall. down the back straightaway, and our points leader Logan Koger involved in that one. Steve Ritter involved, Rick Kennedy as well. So the calamity still going on here tonight late in this one. Here we go. We watch that live there at full speed. You see the cars that were involved. Some big time hits for quite a few cars. And it looks like it started with maybe Steve Ritter maybe thinking he was clear there off of turn number 2. But Logan Koger with a big head of steam up on the top side. And then we see that. Oh, that would be a good camera view. We'll try camera 3 here. And Ritter trying to get up to block, but didn't quite get up there quick enough. By the time Koger had a run, those two will get together. Man, Isaac Salas just able to squeak on through, but sadly Rick Kennedy with that good run, nowhere to go. Big shot into the back of the 80 machine. Ron Holyfield gets a piece of it. Same with Chad Coleman. And then here are the big time hits into the inside wall to the 10 and that 80 machine. We see the 80 having at least 2 wheels off of the racing surface with that hit. And you can see the damage to that race car there. I mean, absolutely crab walking that race car. And I mean, with the calamity late in this one, that leaves about, I want to say, 6 or so cars on the lead lap fighting on out. And Ryan Vaughn here getting yet another lap back. I mean, he sadly won't get onto the lead lap when it's all said and done, but he will walk away now for sure with a top 10 finish for his first ever start here with the 802 iRacing lead. So I tell you what, this is now attempt number 2 of 3. So these guys do have one more attempt at a green-white checkered if they need it, but if it gets down to that third one and we do have a caution, then this race will end under caution. We hope that is not the case, but I tell you what, I mean, Dustin Coggin now within a podium finishing spot. Ron Holyfield right there. Chad Coleman, I mean, Holyfield, Coleman, Lowell all have damage. It's a question who can finish the best with the damage. But it looks like it will probably be, you know, the 6, the 5, and the 46 duking it out for the win here tonight at Homestead. And of course, 2 of those cars looking for their first ever win this season. That both being Coggin and Barker, both looking for that first win. Of course, Salas looking for win number 2 on his short season this season. So once again, it's going to be Johnny Barker, Isaac Salas on the front row. Then row number 2, Dustin Coggin, Ron Holyfield. Then it is Chad Coleman, Rob Lowell, making up kind of the last surviving 6 cars on the lead lap here tonight. As here we go, the iRacing pace car will head to pit road, and once again, Johnny Barker going to be in control of the restart. Barker will go right at the start, not going to take any chances here as we go back to green flag racing. We'll see if it stays green flag racing as Chad Coleman right there in the mix, even with the damage to the 38 machine. He has some of the best tires of this group, so we'll see what he can have as Johnny Barker has a little bit of breathing room. That is what he needs now with 2 laps left in this one. Barker will go to the bottom side in 3 and 4. Salas up to the top side. This time we will see the white flag. 1 more lap to go as Coleman will get clear of Coggin. Those 2 will make contact though down the front straightaway. White flag is out. 1 more lap to go. Does Johnny Barker have enough on the bottom side with the pace to get the job done? Isaac Salas has one shot. It will come here with a send into 3. Does he set one up? No, he doesn't. He'll go to the top side. Hope for a mistake from the 6. Through 3 and 4, the 6 car will come for the final time. And off of turn number 4, Johnny Barker will be a winner this season and will keep his streak alive of a win each season. Isaac Salas will rebound as second. And how about this? Chad Coleman will end up on the podium. Dustin Coggin gets some very important points and will continue to close in that race lead. Coggin came into tonight about 35 points back. He will probably leave here right around 30 with 3 races left in the season. But Johnny Barker will bring this race car here to the front straightaway. And I tell you what, Barker is going to be pumped on up. He will get ready to celebrate on the front straightaway as Johnny Barker will pick up the win here tonight at Homestead. Looks like Johnny Barker, they're done burning it down on the front straightaway, so we'll throw to a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere, folks, because after the commercial break, we have our post-race show here at Homestead. So we'll be right back here after a quick break.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Alrighty, folks, we come back here live from Homestead, Miami Speedway, and I tell you what, with that craziness at the end, a lot of drivers here getting out of here in a hurry. The first driver we're going to be able to kind of catch here is the driver down in victory lane. I usually like to, wait towards the end to talk to the winner, but he is the one driver here ready to rock and roll and chat with us. So down from victory lane, we'll talk to the man of the hour. It is Johnny Barker in the 6 machine. Johnny, do you got a copy?
I got you.
Alrighty, man. First and foremost, how are we feeling after probably 140 plus laps there at the end?
Man, I tell you, I'm wore out, but yeah, that was a good race. Finally finally got back in victory.
I know, right, man? I was looking at the stats and said it many a times, even tonight. I couldn't believe it, going winless here this season. I don't think you've ever had that in a season, but luckily that is not the case as you're able to find victory lane here tonight at Homestead. And man, I tell you what, Johnny, you had one of the cars to beat. How did it feel for you here tonight?
It felt good the first little bit, and man, I tell you, I think it was Isaac. He had that outside working so good, and I tried going up there, and I just it felt better for me on the bottom, even though I know he was faster on the top. I don't know exactly what happened to him. I think he missed his pit or something, but hate it for him. But uh, yeah, it was feeling good.
Yeah, that it was. I mean, that bottom side seemed to be really working, especially, I would say about lap 15 to about 35 in the run. That six car was absolutely flying on the bottom side. But like you said, Solids had that top side working, and we rode on board a few times with him. I mean, he was millimeters off the wall, and to run like that up there, man, that's on such a sword's edge up there running like that.
It is. I like I said when he passed me. I think it was that second run. Or actually both runs, he passed me up there, and I tried going up there, and I was like, man, how's he doing it? It's so, and he was so close. I mean, one little slip and you're in the wall. So I was like, you know what? I better get back down to the bottom where I'm comfortable.
Yeah, for sure, man. And you were looking comfortable as well as fast there down on that bottom side. And man, you had to earn this race. I mean, finally a little bit lady luck on your side, like you mentioned. Isaac Salas missing pit road entry there. Had to do a whole nother lap after blowing up pretty much to pit road speed. I was able to hand you, the race lead once it all kind of cycled on out. But then we had that late race caution and then, man, calamity after that. Tell us about those green white checkers and how you're feeling, because I'm sure it wasn't a great place to be.
Oh man, I was watching the relative and that last run, and I'm sure he burned his tires up trying to come back through, and I was just trying to keep a pace of keeping him about 6 seconds behind me, and was able to do that fairly easy. And man, when that caution come out, I was like, here we go again, just my luck. Then on the restarts, it was so easy to spin the tires, so I knew I was gonna have advantage on being able to fire first. So that played into my strategy good. I was able to get the gas down, and the last restart I actually started in third and was able to just hold it down to the floor and never look back after that.
Yeah, that you didn't. And that final restart of the night, I saw you went right early in the box. I was like, I bet you didn't want to take any chances. As soon as you're able to go, you're on that loud pedal.
Oh yeah, that was my plan. I was like, as soon as I get in the box, because I knew I was in third, uh, I was going, and it all worked out. So yeah, finally has a little bit of luck.
Yeah, that it is. Got the old lady luck on your side. We talked many a times with you this season with luck not on your side. Here tonight, it finally comes all together with a great run, a great win. And of course, we got to, chat a little bit about Sunday night too, because, you're in the round of 10. How you feeling about that coming into the cutoff race here at Homestead? And with a win here tonight, that's got to help the confidence a little bit.
Yeah, we've been practicing a little bit this week, and I'm still getting used to. I know you're always asking about upgrades, so I think it was the end of last week. Rob upgraded his Sim Magic and got a. I don't know exactly what he got, but a bigger one anyhow. So I bought his, and they come in last week, and man, I'm still getting used to it, but I'm really liking it, and I feel good. I can feel real good for tomorrow. So hopefully, like I say, I'm shooting for a top five. If I can do that, I think maybe I can get in.
Yeah, because I tell you what, it's going to be good. And yeah, I bet you feel even better with the wheel now with a victory under your belt, 2 races into that wheel. That's awesome to hear. And yeah, Johnny, going into the race on Sunday, you are the cutoff car currently sitting, 2 points above your teammate Rob Lowell. So it's going to be a dogfight for sure for those final 5 spots to go for a championship. And you're right there on the cut line.
Yeah, it's gonna be tight. Like I said, got to play it somewhat safe, but depending on how many cars shows up, it's gonna be depending on my strategy. But uh, like I said, we practiced this week, felt real good. Practiced a little bit today. Uh, I think I'm gonna be all right. Just got to do a mistake-free race tomorrow night. That's pretty much gonna be it.
Yeah, that is going to be the key. Limit the mistakes here because, like we saw, we almost saw a green to checkered run here tonight, and I'm sure that could maybe be the case. Sunday night, and the strategy. It seemed like you played it pretty well there. Cut it kind of right into thirds, and that seemed to work out really well because I tell you what, there was a lot of tire fall off, especially in the time department. How'd you kind of balance all that out, with the track position? Because you come off a pit road and you're all of a sudden, back into seventh or whatnot.
Yeah, that was my plan was the whole time to pit on lap 50, and I seen a bunch of them start pitting early, and like I said, when I come out and think it was Rob and another one, they was out like 8 seconds on me. I was like, oh Lord, but I was able to run them down within about 10 to 15 laps. So I said I was gonna stay and pit, and I think I did pit a little bit earlier. I was gonna pit on lap 100, and I think I pitted on 98. So I didn't change too much, but that was my plan: 50 and 100, and then run that last 34.
Yeah, and that strategy worked out great for you here tonight, Johnny, down in victory lane. And I tell you what, you definitely earned this one. Had to fight off, some really fast drivers as well, of course. The fight off those green white checkers. So, Johnny, down here in victory lane tonight here at Homestead, before we let you go and celebrate the win here, we, of course, got to hand the mic over to you and have you thank who you got to thank, whether teammates, sponsors, or anyone else you like to shout out in the YouTube chat land, because you even had your teammate Eli Raposa cheering you on in that YouTube chat land here tonight.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely my teammates. Man, we put a lot of work in every year, and it's been paying off. We've been getting faster and faster. Nick with his win last week. Me able to get the win tonight. So yeah, the practice is definitely paying off. So definitely want to thank all my teammates over there at Wolfpack Racing. Uh, want to thank Rob and the whole 802 League of. They do a fantastic job. So want to definitely give them a shout out. And like always, thank you for the broadcast, and look forward to going to watch it.
All righty, Johnny. Well, thanks again, man, for being part of the race in action here tonight and, taking your time to chat with me here in the post race show. Always good to hear from you, my man. And I'm pumped up to see you down in victory lane here tonight. So, Johnny, once again, congrats on the win. And hey, Wolfpack Racing looking pretty strong, has now won the last two 802 events. So that's pretty awesome to see as well.
Yes, sir, and hopefully I get to talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah, hopefully, man, because if
Or
that's the
Sunday,
case,
yeah.
yeah, because if that's the case, you're probably into the round of five and having another shot at you chasing that championship. So, Johnny, you have a great rest of the night. Go celebrate this win, and of course, keep on getting ready for the big Sunday night race.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Brett.
All righty, awesome stuff, Johnny. You have a great rest of your night. And that was our race winner, Johnny Barker, getting the job done here tonight at Homestead. I'm for sure swinging by the old pit crew, pit stall of the Six Machine, because they're going to be partying it up all night long here tonight. And yeah, like I said before, I think drivers, quickly trying to get out and kind of done with the race here tonight. Don't really have anyone else to chat with, Salas or Coleman, so going to be a quick post-race show when it's all said and done. So we'll start wrapping things on up, of course, first and foremost, with tonight's race results here from Homestead. Johnny Barker picks up his first win this season. And let me double check here just the overall points, because, I always like to look at overall stats or whatnot. This one now make it Johnny Barker's. Let's see here. Got to try and find his name. It will now make it his 9th career win and now ties him for the second most career wins here in 802. So congrats to Johnny with the win here tonight. Isaac Salas, man, seemed like he had the car to beat, had the pit road kind of blunder able to rebound his second. A great night for the 5. And Chad Coleman, keeping his head down, he walks away with a podium finish. Dustin Coggin will gain a little bit in the points, will be a little bit not as far back, let's say, in second in points with a 4th place finish here. And Rob Lowell, after the wheel spin there right before the green-white checkers, he will end up with a top 5 finish in 5th. Ron Holyfield will bring it home in 6th. 7th going to our points leader, Logan Koger. Steve Ritter in 8th. Ryan Vaughn in 9th. And then Rick Kennedy rounding out the top 10. Joe Hudson will finish 11th. 12th going to Brandon Guerin. Frank Zingen in 13th. And Bryson Anderson will round out the field here tonight. So once again, we got to thank all the live viewers and replay viewers tuning on in here. We appreciate each and every one of you guys. If you want to find out more, check out 802 iRacing League on Facebook. Speaking about the 802 iRacing League, we also got to thank everyone that makes it happen. The admins, the racers, as well as the sponsors. That's being BG Graphix, Riptide Radio, GStone Motorsports, Admin Boxx, as well as Stone Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. So yeah, that'll do it for me here tonight. I've been Brett the Jet in the booth with Turn 3 Racing Network. Turn 3 Racing Network's got a lot of great racing each and every day throughout the week. If you want to watch some sim racing, be sure to tune on in. You'll always find a good show. And I tell you what, you want to tune on in Sunday night. It is the cutoff race for the round of 10. We'll take our 10 drivers in the points and shrink it to 5. And those 5 will be fighting for the Season 6 championship. It's going to be a wild one. That'll be Sunday night here at Homestead with the next gen cars. So that'll do it for me here tonight. Everyone have a great weekend. Stay safe, and we'll catch you Sunday night. Also, Turn 3 Race Network partnered with Premier Setup Shops. You can find out more about them with the link in the description. That'll take you over to their page. Even if you don't buy anything, a click would go a long way. Would be greatly appreciated. So, once again, I've been Brett the Jet in the booth, and I just flew by you. Have a good one.
Premier Racing Setups is the longest running setup shop on iRacing. Our monthly subscription options start as low as $20 a month. We offer setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, and road racing, covering a wide range of cars and skill levels. Built and tested by top-tier sim racers, this isn't just a business, it's a community of competitive drivers. If you want to better your iRacing experience, head over to PremierRacingSetups.com today. And remember, if you don't get one, you're going to chase one.